I found what basically feels like a cheat code to complete the Jubbly Trials, the third trial to be specific, which is the hardest trial. Before I talk about that though, I just want to make sure you know you have to build the inoculation station to start the trial. You need the wind catcher as well in order to do the method that I'm about to show you, which is required for the trial. You need 55 sailing in order to start the trial. Max out your hull and your sails and everything that you can before starting the trial. You cannot do this on the big boat. You have to do it on the middle boat. That is also another thing. I brought my big boat here, and my big boat died, and I forgot the inoculation station on my small boat, and my small boat died. So make sure you remember that. You have to be in the middle boat. And just to show you where we are on the map, just in case you didn't know, it's a little bit southwest of Pandemonium. So that is Pandemonium. You go a little bit south, then you go very far west, you enter the swamp, and then you go north, and then you are here. So now I'm going to show you the method to actually complete the third trial, which is very, very difficult. So it's the Marlin trial, and you have to do it in 5 minutes and 21 seconds. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go a little bit to the right, and that is how we start our trial. And the beginning is actually very easy. You don't really have to do anything too try hard before you get into the the crazy parts. Just go follow what I'm doing, go a little bit left around the rock, and then we're going to be going all the way on the left side of the map. Just make sure you're picking up the crates along the way and hitting as many of the speed boosts as you can. And my favorite thing about this method is you can make mistakes. You can hit some of like the corners and mess up. You don't have to be going at full speed at all times. Right now you trim your sails and you see you should have that little circle spinny thingy on your sailing icon thing. Make sure you pay attention to that, because that is going to make the difference of completing the trial and not completing the trial, of the timing of when you get that. So now that you're at the back, make sure you grab the grublies or jubblies from the boat, and now just continue making your way along the back. Do not throw your jubbly at the first one. That is very important. You're going to be throwing at the yellow flag first, and then trim your sails again, and then click on the red flag and continue the turn. Now you're going to immediately hit your speed boost, collect the barrel, and we're going to be going right here along the outside, and then we're going to be going on the inside in just a second. And this is very important because the timing of when you trim your sails and use your speed boost is very important. Throw your jubbly right here, and now we just make our way back to the beginning. This part is very, very straightforward, basically a straight path. It's pretty easy. Throw your jubbly at the blue flag when you get there, and then do a nice little U-turn, trim your sails again. And this is where the it gets a little bit challenging, because you're going to be making like a U-turn. Right now you grab this box, throw it on the pink one, throw it at the white one. Now you make a quick U-turn right here. It's kind of like a 180, and then this is where you're going to be using your speed boost again in just a second. I got caught myself right here, so that is why I use the speed boost, but you can use it here anyway. So this is what I'm telling you. You can make mistakes, which is so nice, and you're still going to get the time trial. Throw your jubbly there, pick up the box, and see, messed up again. Went through the stuff. Now throw it again at the, what is that, the red, or I think that's the orange one, and then continue on. See, my speed is really slow right now, and that's what I'm telling you. That's why it's amazing. And wait, before we throw it at the blue one, and then we're going to make our way back, all the way back to grab some more jubblies. And you should have 0, trim your sails again, and you should have 2. This is why we are allowed to make our mistake. What's coming up is going to be the make it or break it. You cannot mess this up, otherwise you're probably going to mess up, unless you have everything else perfect. But we're going to release our wind note in just a second and do a complete fucking 180 like a crazy person. Grab it from the boat. Look at that time we just saved. Oh my god, beautiful. That's like a solid like 6 to 7 seconds of all the mistakes that you can make. Now throw it at the yellow one, speed boost again, grab, boom. Now just follow the path along the outside of the map. That was the hard part. That was the hardest part. Everything else from now on is going to be super easy, and that's what I love about this method, is that I've done this a bunch of times, and that's why I'm going to call it the ZZQ method, because I haven't seen anyone do it until I started doing it, and then I saw some people following me, and they're like, oh wow. Oh, anyway, throw it at the yellow flag. Sorry about my commentary there. That was a little distracting. And make sure that you're following the boxes, and now you go back along the outside and go back to collecting the boxes. You just have to make sure that you threw the jubblies at everything that I threw them at. Sorry about that. But yeah, now we're just chilling along the outside, and yeah, we're kind of relaxing right now. It's pretty straightforward. You know, you just chill, this is where we're going to use our speed boost yet again in just a second right here. And you go through the herbs and boom. Now throw it at the white flag, throw it at the purple flag, and then go along the inside right here. Make sure you don't miss a jubbly. Like, that is probably going to be the only thing that'll probably mess up your run, is if you don't throw the jubblies at the correct flags. Because as you can see, I'm not even at full speed right now. I've messed up probably like at least 6 or 7 times this run already, and I'm still going to get the time. So that is why the method that I showed you is so good. Make sure you trim your sails, do another 180, and we're going to be throwing a jubbly at the red flag over here. And then we're going to be throwing a jubbly. Oops, see, I missed. Make sure you throw it, because if you missed, you can just throw it again. And now throw it at the blue flag right over here. And this is where we're going to be using our final speed boost in just a second to go over this crazy part. So use the speed boost, and we're going to be grabbing the final 2 crates. Make sure you try to land on both speed boosts. And now you just throw it at the light blue flag right over here. Do a nice little 180 yet again. And now we're going to be, just follow the path to the end. Throw it at the pink flag, and then throw it at the white flag. And pray you get it in time. I mean, this was actually not one of my best runs, but I'm pretty sure it should be good still. 5, 15, 16, 17. So sometimes just the ending comes down to waiting. 20. Yep, we made it just in time. Ooh, 67 sailing.